Hey there, it's Rosalind here. I hope you're doing well. Today is the Team Tiny Winter Hop. Now that it's the middle of winter, we hope to inspire you with some winter theme projects. Today I'm using the papery ink stamp set called But First, which includes a bunch of cute little critters drinking their coffee. I'm using sentiments from Purple Onion Designs Warming Winter Thoughts. I've also cut a couple of this die from Lawn Fawn called 4 Square Backdrop in Portrait. And I've chosen this winter scene paper from Sunny Studios from the paper pack called Very Merry. And also some shaker elements. So to start off, I wanted to show you all of these cute little critters colored up. And there is a raccoon, a fox, a sloth, a beaver, and a cute little squirrel. They're all cuddling up with their pillows and their warm cups of coffee or hot cocoa. It comes with some accessory stamps here to build up your scene. And I just love these cuties so much. And I think the raccoon is my absolute favorite, but the sloth and fox, ooh, they're close seconds. So to begin, I've cut 2 of these Lawn Fawn dies with heavyweight white cardstock, and I'm going to be building my card base. I've cut a piece of cardstock for the back panel of my card to 5.5 by 5 inches. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to score at 1/4 of an inch, and I want to have a little bit of flexibility when I score this, and I'm going to glue this to the front panel, so I cut it a little bit bigger. And as you can see, if you want to score at the 1/4 inch, it's very close to the edge there. So I'm going to score on the other side at 4 3/4 of an inch. So that gives me 1/4 inch to attach to my die cut front panel. So I'm going to score that really well. I'm going to burnish that down with my bone folder and get ready to attach this panel. Now this panel is going to be facing the inside of the card, so I have flipped that upside down, facing away from us. I'm using a bit of score tape here so that I make sure that I have a secure bond. And the 1/4 inch score tape here was just a little bit too big for this piece of cardstock, but I ended up just rolling it up and making sure nothing was hanging over the edge. I'm bringing out my score buddy now to help me align those 2 panels together. And as you can see, that creates our card. Now I'm just going to cut off the excess there with my paper trimmer, and it works out nicely. So let's stamp our sentiment on the front of the card. I'm using these red rubber stamps from Purple Onion, and you can see they have no sticky backing on them. So they have a really great clear temporary mounting piece that you can attach to your stamping tool so that that red rubber sticks and you're able to stamp with it. So there's no need to add any backing to that red rubber stamp. So I've taken the foam out of my stamping buddy here, and I'm got my panel lined up and my stamp where I'd like it, and I'm going to stamp that down with some Teal Cove ink from Altenew. It's a nice teal that will coordinate with how I've colored up my cute images. So to make the shaker, I've cut 2 pieces of acetate, square pieces of acetate, and one's going to go on the card base here. And this is where my wing it style comes into play. I tried to glue that down with liquid glue, and I hadn't added enough in certain places, and it was oozing out in other places. So I tried for a little bit to try to get that stuck down, but I resorted to pulling that up and discarding that piece of acetate and just going ahead and attaching some 1/8 inch score tape around where I had it originally glued down. You can see that the paper's torn up a bit and everything, but that's not going to affect the overall card because that's going to be covered up with an additional panel on the front. So I'm just going to make sure that I go around in all those places And I wasn't sure about sticking acetate down with score tape. Maybe I've done it in the past, and it seems to work out perfectly fine with acetate to paper. So I'm going to pull off all those backings, being careful not to rip up any more paper. And I am able to redo this piece of acetate. And you can see that that creates a window. And when I open the card, I'm just making sure it's all burnished down. It's like a see-through window in the front. I'm going to do the same with the second die cut panel. I'm going to align all those spots with the 1/8 inch score tape. And that works really great for these small areas. And that panel is also going to get a acetate panel. So basically you're going to be able to look through this shaker and see what's on the inside of the card. I wanted to create a scene where these little cuties can sit and admire the snowy scene out the window and enjoy their hot cups of coffee or hot cocoa. I'm just going to trim off some excess there that was hanging over, and I'm going to start building my shaker well. So to do that, I'm taking some foam tape and I am going to frame out this window frame. And I'm able to cut down this foam tape to smaller strips and make it all fit. You want to be sure to frame out all of the areas that you're going to be putting the shaker bits so that they don't fall out. I'm also going to be doing another layer on top of this. And when we do that, we don't want to forget to take off the green backing to the foam tape. So if you don't know already, Team Tiny is a small group of creators that are all under 1,000 subscribers. So that means when you watch our videos and you hop along, you won't be bombarded with all of the ads that some of the bigger channels have. We'd love to have your support, and hopefully you will find some awesome inspiration on this hop. We get together once or twice a month with a theme so that we can all have an opportunity to make great videos and hopefully get to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. So in order to hop along on this hop, all you have to do is click on the hashtag Team Tiny Winter Hop, which is in my description or the title of this video, and that will take you to all of the participants and their videos along this hop. Now I'm taking this anti-static powder tool around the edges of that foam tape because it's double layered, there could be some exposed stickiness of that foam tape. So that just takes away the stickiness. So I'm taking this Sunny Studios Blue Snowflake Confetti Mix and just adding that to each of these little shaker wells. Trying to get them even, and this is always the fun part of trying to figure out how much shaker bits should I be adding. I don't want to add too much, I don't want to add too little, but the more you make a shaker, the easier it gets. And I almost feel like a little shaker pharmacist here, doling out my little shaker bits to these window frames here. And this is going to create a super snowy shaker background. I'm carefully taking off the backing of this foam tape. You don't want to be rough with this because if it jumps up, all your shaker bits are going to go everywhere. So just be careful when you're removing that backing. I'm attaching my front panel, and as you can see, all those shaker bits are now contained, and we can move on to decorating the card. Now, my plan was going great up until now. I had a vision of these cuties sitting in the window frame, all cuddly and cozy and spending time with each other and looking out the window. But then right before, and you will see, right before I decide to glue these down, it hit me. I'm going to be able to see the back of those images through the window. And I really didn't think that that was going to look too well. So I had to change my plan. I had to figure out what I was going to do next. And it all worked out. So I just decided that I'm going to put a couple of these guys down at the bottom near the sentiment. And they'll be just hanging out with each other there, and that won't interrupt or make it look messy on the inside of my shaker, because this is a see-through card. The other option you have if you're going to make one of these is just put a back panel onto that shaker so that you can create the scene you wanted, but I really wanted that see-through look, so I managed to use up most of my images, if not all, I can't remember here, and I decorated the inside of the card as well. So it's kind of a two-way window there. And these images are just so cute, and I love how I colored them up in those colors with my Copics. If you'd like to see how I colored them, I did video that, but didn't include it in this video because it would have taken up too much time, and we want you guys to be able to hop along and see all of the creations. Let me know if you want to see that coloring, and I will do a separate video for that. So, how are you guys with winter? It is super snowy here up in Ontario, and we got about 24 inches of snow in one day, and the schools were actually canceled, and my kids got to have a snow day, and they were out there for hours playing in the snow. So when it's snowy, I don't mind. When it's dreary, I don't like it in the winter. We want some snow to play in. So here I have my pattern paper, and I'm going to attach that on the inside of my card. And I was just lining it up to see what I wanted to have show, because I'm going to have to cut this 6x6 down. And of course I was really sloppy with my adhesive and it was hanging off, but I'm just going to turn that in and move on. It works out perfectly fine. So I'm going to line that up in my card. I love this snowy background, and it's a great little paper pad to have because they have a few different scenes like this that you can just add your images to, and you don't have to worry about creating your own background. So I get that nicely adhered, and I'm going to trim off the rest first with my scissors here, just carefully along the top. And another thing to note is that when you are going to sign this card, a type of card like this, because I don't have very much room on the inside, you're going to want to sign along the bottom of the card and leave the open space of the shaker plain so that it looks nice when the card is closed. Or the other option is signing it on the back of the card. Now, it wasn't exactly my vision when I first started this card, but I really like how it turned out, and you can surely know that I don't pre-plan my cards to a T. I don't make a prototype or anything. I just craft along and record it and share my crafty journey with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you hop along and get a lot of inspiration for all your winter cards. Isn't that cute? It still worked out. It still looks like a window and them having a cozy cup of cocoa and all those fun shaker bits. Okay, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.